Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother.
Hello and welcome to another video by me, Truthslayer, and this will be a stuff video, as I like to call them, and me just talking about random wrestling news over the week, and the news I think we should all kind of just touch on. I'll probably be doing this either Fridays or Saturdays. I'm doing this on Thursdays, and I will get into that why I'm doing this on Thursday this week near the end of the video. So let's get started. I got a lot I want to talk about. Let's talk about Raw first. Raw, of course, did much better in the ratings than the one 2 weeks ago, and it was very good. This wasn't a great Raw, but this was definitely a very entertaining Raw, and much more along the lines of what I feel Raw should be. Much more of a wrestling show wrapped around an entertainment show. The wrestling kind of comes second, but I did feel it was promising. I did feel it was there was a lot of good stuff that came out of this Raw. It was good to see WWE not to do complete and utter panic mode and just start throwing stuff out. They definitely said, hey, let's just see what we can fix. Let's see what we can fix in the contest of what we're trying to do. I think they did a good job of that myself. And the reason rumor is that Vince and Dusty pretty much ran most of the show, wrote most of the show Monday, and I definitely think if that was the case, you could tell it did have a different feel to it. Rumor is next week they're going to try Vince and Regal, as Vince is not real happy with the creative staff or Stephanie, if you believe the rumors. Of course, out of Raw we got kind of, who's Vince McMahon's illegitimate child. Rumor is it's going to be Kennedy. I really hope it's not Kennedy, because I don't think Kennedy needs that kind of storyline to be over. I think he's already over. It would be much better if they brought in an unknown, in my opinion, or somebody who, if you're going to go really, sleazeball with this, do Triple H, do something truly shock value and, lowbrow. This is basically, Jerry Springer type stuff anyway, so if you're going to go that way, go that way. Then we go to ECW. I thought ECW was good this week. I usually think ECW is pretty good. My only complaint with ECW is they definitely need to start adding a few more storylines or changing up the storylines a bit. I'm really getting kind of bored of Punk versus Morrison. Even though it's good and even though I'm enjoying it, I'm definitely getting to that point where I'm like, okay, this needs to end. So they definitely need to start mixing up the storylines a little bit more. I think they have the talent to do that. And you definitely see them trying, but this comes back to my point. I don't think they have the right talent on ECW or Raw or SmackDown for that matter. So, hey, what you gonna do? In other WWE news, the WWE signed. I thought this was kind of interesting. Lacey Von Erich, and who Lacey Von Erich is she's the daughter of Kerry Von Erich, who was the Von Erich that was in the WWE back in the day. And I've included a link to her MySpace account. She announced that she'd signed a developmental deal with the WWE. I don't know if she's going to be a wrestler or just, a pretty face. She is very attractive, I will say that. And unfortunately, as with a lot of the divas, she does kind of have that look of she just walked out of Playboy, but she's much more attractive, I would say, than a lot of them. However, I think since they've added all of these other women that are just pretty faces, she's just going to look like another pretty face. And I think that's a detriment to her. But I think if she does wind up being a good wrestler, which, you figure if she's not, then her granddaddy's ghost is probably going to come back and whip the crap out of her. Then she, I think a great feud would be to bring up Natalie Neidhart and have her and Natalie Neidhart feud. Basically, have Natalie Neidhart keep talking about how she's the next, generation of the first family of wrestling, and then have Lacey Von Erich come out and say, I don't think so. So, there we go. Let's talk about some TNA news. Of course, the pay-per-view coming up this weekend, but let's talk about Impact. I thought Impact pretty much did what it's supposed to do, which is sell the pay-per-view, or at least, try to sell the pay-per-view. I think that they best they can. My only problem is, my God, will someone please get rid of Mike Tenay and Don West? Tenay's not bad, but get rid of Don West. Get rid of them selling stuff, selling storylines over matches while matches are going on. Sell the match that's going on in the process, not the matches that are going on the pay-per-view. Don't do that. It really bugs me. It bugs me when WWE does it too, but they are not nearly as good at it as the WWE guys are, and it just really bothers me. Overall, like I said, I thought it was it served its purpose Impact. Then we go to Hard Justice, and I'll give you my thoughts on Hard Justice here. The Motor City Machine Guns versus Triple X versus the Guru Sanjay Jet and Black Machizo Jay Lethal. That, of course, should be an excellent match. I think we all expect that. Then we had Chris Harris versus Dustin Rhodes. I hope Chris Harris can pull something out of Dusty Rhodes. If not, I hope this only goes, 5 to 10 minutes, or it's going to be a waste. LAX versus VKM. I could care less about this match. Please get VKM off the pay-per-views. They don't want to be there. I don't want to see them. No one wants to see them. What's the purpose? Thank you very much. Eric Young versus Robert Roode in a humiliation match. This is like, in my opinion, the Punk versus Morrison stuff. Get it off. Let's finish it. Let's finish it now. Doesn't need to keep going on. It's gone on long enough. Finish this feud, please, TNA. The Ballroom Brawl, Rhino versus James Storm, should be an excellent match. Hopefully it's a good hardcore match. Both these guys are good at that sort of thing, so I'm expecting a very good match from these guys. Then we have the Dream TNA team match, the Steiner Brothers versus Team 3D. The only thing to make this better, of course, is if the tag titles were up for grab, but they're not. But what you can do? This is still going to be, I think, a pretty kind of somewhat mark-out moment, seeing both teams in the ring, seeing them wrestle. Again, 5 to 10 minutes. Only let it go that way. That way, they'll still be fun, but, and I'll probably still kind of mark out for that match, I'm sure. Then we have the Doomsday Chamber of Blood, which will be Sting, Abyss, and Andrew Martin versus Christian Cage, AJ Styles, and Tomko. Basically, it's going to be a cage match with barbed wire on the top, I understand, and then you can only pin your opponent if your opponent's bleeding. And I expect this to be pretty much like the first Hell in a Cell with, Abyss's new enemy showing up and, probably costing their team the match, that type of thing. And then, of course, we have Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. If Joe, in my opinion, Joe has to win this match for TNA to really succeed. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Kurt's going to win this. And then Joe will probably wind up the way it looks with, Team 3D Joe storyline, maybe. I don't know. I want this storyline to end because I don't like it. You've wrapped the titles around everybody. I'm not real big on it. Hopefully Joe wins. I don't think that's going to be the case, unfortunately, if you believe the rumors. And then, of course, Pac-Man Jones is going to be there as well. I'm not going to comment on Pac-Man Jones until I know exactly what Pac-Man Jones has planned for TNA. After that, then I'll rip TNA about bringing Pac-Man Jones, because this is not the type of celebrity you bring in my opinion. Okay, now let's talk about some Ring of Honor news. Ring of Honor this weekend will be running their Death Before Dishonor shows. The first show tomorrow will be in Boston, and then Saturday will be in Philly. These are annual shows. These usually look very good. If you're in either area and you can check out both shows, definitely go check them out. Both cards look very good. I've included a link so you guys can check that out. In my opinion, this is this kind of half-year point for Ring of Honor, and I think they've actually put on so far a better year than they did last year. And last year they had the storyline with CZW and ROH. I think the only really downtime this year was during the 50th festival. But then the last two shows, the first show was good. The last two shows were excellent. The WrestleMania weekend shows were excellent. The shows from then to the pay-per-view, there were a couple of really good shows in between there. The first pay-per-view, of course, excellent. The second pay-per-view taping is said to be excellent. The two shows from Japan are said to be amazing shows. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And the other reason why everyone should check this out is Project 161. For those of you that don't know what Project 161, I've included a link to 411 Mania on that article at the bottom. It talks all about 161. It's a new angle, maybe the Ring of Honor is running. If it is an angle, it will be one of the greatest angles probably that we've seen in a long time in wrestling. I'm looking very forward to it. Very kind of marquee out for it. Basically what we know is it looks like it's going to be some sort of invasion angle, but we have no idea who it is. We have no idea if it's certain guys that are already in the ring. We have no idea. Check out the article. It's the biggest thing going on in ROH right now. It's been going on for about a week, 2 weeks now. So there you go. That's all, and I hope you all enjoyed, and talk to you soon.